Earl, and beyond. It's your boy B, the Outlier. Welcome to the Outlier Podcast. And we right back up at you guys with another one. What is good, y'all? What is up with you guys? How you guys doing? I ain't come on yesterday for a very specific reason. My work hours changed yesterday. I worked a little bit later. So I said I ain't gonna go on live and mess things up. So I was cool. I still did some things that I needed to do yesterday, and a few things were handled, my people. And it's a long, extended weekend, y'all. A long, extended weekend. Tomorrow, we are off work because we are observing Juneteenth, my people. Observing Juneteenth. And shout out to my ancestors who I have never met before. They basically paved the way for a brother like me to be able to live in a beautiful community like this, raise my family in a beautiful community like this, and to raise your people up out of a certain situation. So we'll get more into that. I told you guys on Saturday at something like a family reunion, we'll speak about how this plays into it. And we'll also talk about how I'm feeling right now, people. How I'm feeling. I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great, y'all. You know, my diabetes have been straight for the last, since around my birthday time, since the week of May, like around May 19th. That's when I first started getting all my stuff together. First thing I did is I made the appointment with the endocrinologist. So shout out to the endo doctor. Those are some scary, scary people, y'all. Endocrinologists are they tell you what you needed to hear, but you didn't know that you needed to hear it because they don't play sweet with you, man. They don't deal with you with child gloves. They deal with you like a human. Y'all ever watch cops when they pull people over and how some police officers talk? They're not gonna argue with you. Some of them will listen to you, but they're gonna tell you how it's gonna go because they got the law on their side. And I hate when they gotta break people glass. I'm listening, and the cop straight up telling them, they're like, "Yo, man, or sir, if I have to tell you to get out of the car one more time, we're gonna break this glass." And I'm listening to the people sit there and argue with them. And I'm just like, damn, kid, you got no wins on the street, my brother. You got no wins on the street. Shout out to my pops. He used to always tell me that, son. He used to always tell me. He said, never, ever, ever argue with police officers on the street. He said, you gotta fight them in court. That's the only way you win. You're not gonna win on the streets. He used to always say, you never want to be dead right, right? You never want to be dead right. So, okay, let's say you do have a point, but you mess around, get beat down by the cops, and they take your life. Now, you may have been right in principle, but what did it mean if you're not here anymore? So he used to always tell me, you don't want to be dead right. And endocrinologists are just like these police officers, man. They tell you in a matter of fact way. They're going to say, do you want to live? If you want to live, you need to do this. You need to do that. Now, if you don't want to live and you hate yourself and you want to kill yourself, keep doing what you're doing because this is what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And that's what's going to happen. And believe me, the endocrinologists know because diabetes is a slow, slow killer. A slow killer. We got somebody else on the check-in. Party Toothless said, "Hi, what's going on?" We got Angelina. She said, "Can you do ASMR?" We got, can I do it? I don't know. I don't know if I can. You think I could do that? ASMR? I got sleeping problems a lot of times, and that stuff put me to sleep, y'all. definitely put me to sleep. Certain things, man, like in the middle of the night on YouTube, you could be in some crazy, find yourself into some crazy, 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 crazy things, man. And you look at it like, damn, yo, how the hell did this get into my algorithm, yo? So some of the ASMR stuff that I used to watch to put me to sleep, I used to watch surgeries. Y'all ever watch surgeries? Like surgeons doing like brain surgery. It'll put you to sleep, yo. It used to put me to sleep. Stuff was interesting. So I sit there, look at that stuff, and it put me to sleep. I also used to watch like massages. That'll definitely put me to sleep. So they do like the calf massages, they do back massages, stretches, things like that. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll throw that on and it put me to sleep. I also like, I'm reading the comment section too. We got somebody to check in, man. Somebody else said, Angelica said, yes, yes. Somebody said you could get choked out too. Who's this? Max Intensity 25. He said you could get choked out too. You're a funny dude. And then we got somebody else that says, shut up. Amy Israel Chi says, shut up. Somebody said, N. Somebody said, yo, man, what are you wandering on the streets? Why are you wandering on the streets at night? Somebody said, what time is it for you? All right. So we in New York right now, Nassau County, New York, Freeport. This is a suburb of New York City. My people, we about half an hour away from Queens and about 45 minutes away from Manhattan, 45 minutes away from Manhattan. So this is a suburb of New York City, and it is 4:36 in the morning out here, 4:36 in the morning. Where you guys coming in from? Where you guys checking in from? What city, what state, and what country you checking in from, man? This is international. We get people from all different countries that check in with me at this time of the morning, and I give everybody a shout out. So let me know where you guys checking in from. And you said, what am I doing wandering on the streets? I'm on my way to work, my brother, on my way to work. I live in Long Island. I work in Queens. Technically, I'm supposed to be to work at 7, but you guys know me. I get in early every single day. I like to have my time to relax, like to have my time to not have anything bother me, nobody all up in my face. And I seem to work better like that. So that's the reason why I tend to leave early. We got somebody else on the check-in, which I saying, damn, the chat, y'all going big today, baby. I can't even keep up. Somebody said GQ. Amy said GQ. What's GQ? Somebody said E. GQE, what you talking about? Somebody Sadish said, man, making extra money, ain't he? We got somebody else on the check-in. Somebody said R. Amy spelling stuff. I don't know what she's selling. Somebody said runs across the stream, running skeleton, 67. What up, my brother? I like that name, running skeleton. We got somebody else who said hi, France Spaz. Said 1766. Said what up? What's going on, my brother? Lyndon Hernandez said, damn, you a early bird. Somebody said W. Somebody coming in for Cali. That's what's up. What part of Cali are you coming in from? California, most definitely has been checking me a lot more lately. We get some people from LA. We get some people from all over California. Some people from all over California. Yes, sir. Never been to Cali, but everybody who check in from Cali, I tell them I do want to eventually go to Cali, y'all. Do want to eventually go to Cali and chill with the people out there. Some of my favorite rappers are straight up from the West Coast, my people. Some of my straight up favorite rappers are from the West Coast. We got my boy Big Mont on the check-in. He said Knicks tape ticker tape. Facts, facts, facts. They got the parade going on today down there in the city. Down there in the city. It's gonna be a crazy event. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. I got to go to work, so I won't be down there. I don't necessarily like huge crowds like that, and especially rowdy crowds. So If I ain't have to work, would I go? I might, because this one seems to be. It seems like it's going to be a little bit more tame, the parade, than when they won the championship. Because down there at the Garden, son, that night, some of the stories I saw, it was crazy. I saw them burning buses, people getting arrested for no reason. And it's, I mean, back when I was younger, maybe, but now I'm 46 years old. I ain't got the time and I ain't got the energy, man. I ain't got the time and I ain't got the energy, my people. Because, listen, sometimes it's best to be discreet, y'all. It's best to be discreet. And I was thinking about this the other day. Think about this the other day. And I look at like the TV. I look at what we make traits that we like in America. And it seemed like certain things we into. So you'll listen to the Stephen A. Smiths, all of these people online. And they yell a lot, man. They yell. They think raising a voice and getting excited and adamant about a topic is going to give them some type of authority. But as I've gotten older, man, I realize, yo, a lot of that stuff is performative, yo. It's just really performative. And sometimes when you pay attention to what the loudest voice is saying, chances are they really don't know what they're talking about, man. And it's the same thing with you look at some people who they may wear clothing and they're gonna put a whole bunch of designer, whole bunch of names and tags on the stuff that they rock. And I look at it like, yo, why are you endorsing the fact that you are wearing this, that this is what it is? You know, you get some people over here, they're going to tell you how much money they make. And those are all red flags to me that tell me sometimes it ain't all it's cracked up to be, man. It ain't all it's cracked up to be. So I listen to like things that is in pop culture. So the man who get all the women got this type of personality, got that type of personality. They act this way, they act that way, and that stuff may be true when you're younger. But like I said, as you get older, learn to separate the signal from the noise. You start seeing this a lot of noise, man, and you learn to just be more discreet about every single thing you do, my son. Everything you do, you learn to just become more discreet, man. And you get it. But everybody ain't got to know that you getting it. You can get it. Everybody ain't got to know that you get it. You know? Everybody don't got to know that you're getting it. And also, for a brother like me who pay attention to details, subtle, subtle elegance for me is what it is, man. You know? I don't want somebody to look at me. I'm rocking traditional Gucci colors or a big shirt that say Giovanni or all of that nonsense. Nah, nah, nah. You're gonna look, you're gonna be like, oh, this brother is very well put together. The nose gonna know. So if you're in the fashion and you see this shirt at a nice spot and you like, yo, he rocking it, it's game recognized game, man. Game recognized game. The nose know. And the real ones could peep it. Everybody else, they don't need to know. They don't need to know. So we got my boy Big Mott, he said that was the news isolating a few events. It was live out there. You talking about oh, you went out there, Big Mike? You went out there? He said it was the news isolating certain events down there at the game. Yeah, I could definitely probably agree with that. I've seen how they done that. And I got a lot of my stuff from Instagram. So people on Instagram, they make things seem like it's way worse than what it is, y'all. People on social media make things seem like it's way worse than what it is. If you're not from New York, watching what they show in the subways, how a whole bunch of fights and stuff that happen out here in the city, you think New York was really one type of way. But if you out here, man, unless you're in certain communities at certain times, you're not really going to see much. Now, the subway is a little different. Subway is definitely a little different. There are certain lines that you could ride through and you won't see much. But then there are other lines where you're prone to see a lot more at different times. And some of the things that they won't tell you about the subway is that for some people who live on the street, some people who are addicted to drugs, staying in that subway, that bench is safer than being out here on these streets. Staying on that bench is safer. You know, sometimes it's temperature controlled. You get into the subways in the winter, if it's heated, that's a warm little seat that you could lay on. And it's better than having a cardboard box or just laying on the streets. And from what I hear, those shelters, a lot of people I know have been in those shelters. And they tell me them shelters ain't no joke, man. Them shelters is worse than the streets sometimes. So some people would take their chance chilling, sleeping in the subway system. And you get that element. You definitely get that element. New York subway stations are cheap. For $3, you could basically go any place in the city. Any place in the city. You could get from the Bronx to Far Rockaway, my people. The Bronx to Far Rockaway for $3. So you got people taking advantage of that and just going to put a whole bunch of people together from different life stages. You get people that have different mental health issues and crazy. Somebody said, where is that, bro? We out here in New York. This is Freeport, New York, my brother. Freeport, New York, a suburb of New York City. And it is 4:30 out here. Actually 4:45 now, you know? So, I mean, the subway can get crazy. I've seen some incidents on the subway. I've actually missed a couple of events. I remember during COVID time, right? It was I forget which line it was, but it was that exact line that I was on, right? And I had just gotten off the train. Just gotten off the train. I think an hour later, they found a body on that same train. Somebody had gotten stabbed, and it was like two people had gotten stabbed on that same line. This was back during COVID times. And I was like, yo, damn, son, I was really just over there. But that's how New York could be. Because we got so many people, so many different stories in the same neighborhoods, yo. I remember I used to do Uber Eats on my bike out there in Brooklyn. And I used to have the Citizen app. And it's the craziest thing because sometimes you would literally leave an apartment building. And then on the Citizen app, it'd be like, yo, lady being held hostage. I'm like, yo, I just came from there, son. I just came from there. I remember one time I was doing Uber Eats and I was in East New York and somebody must have did something. So they had the helicopters out. The cops was blocking off the streets. But the perpetrator, the kid who did it, he was literally running the streets and it was a manhunt searching for this cat. And I'm on my bike out there doing Uber Eats. And I was like, all right, y'all, I'm getting out the East. I'm getting out of East New York, son. Definitely getting out of East New York. There was a couple times I was in Brownsville where somebody would get an order from like, a Chinese restaurant. It's especially a Chinese restaurant out there. And I forget which part, over there by Flushing in Brooklyn. And it's a lot of gang activity over there, man. Mother Gaston over there in that area. A lot of gang activity. And these cats rocking all the red. And they got all the lingo. They talking that buzzing stuff. They talking, putting the bees in front of everything. And I was kind of, I don't get nervous about stuff like that, but I'm just like, damn, son, I ain't from Brooklyn. I'm from Long Island. I'm out here in these cats' hood picking up some damn Uber Eats for $12 an hour. It was kind of dangerous, And I used to walk around with my little GoPro. I used to strap it to my chest. And that was like my little extra security because people used to ask me if I was recording. If it was recording, I was like, yeah, I'm streaming live on YouTube. So it used to be cool. But then when I used to watch the footage back, there would be people side-eyeing you. You understand what I'm saying? Side-eyeing you. And it looked like in their eyes, they don't have the best intentions for you. And it was like, damn, son, I didn't even see that. But when I play the picture back and the camera back, it's actually real, son. It was actually real. Somebody said, this person is talking to himself. My boy Ivan, he said, I'm talking to myself. You're right. I do talk to myself. But there's three people here. We got Ivan said, give me $10. You need $10. You give me $10, brother. You give me $10, kid. You know? Drop your cash app. I got you, son. Drop your cash app. I got you. Somebody like they got pulled over there. I'ma give them their privacy. We're gonna give them their privacy. But I just stepped up to this beautiful, fine establishment. I'm about to go make me some tea. I've been drinking a lot of green tea lately, y'all. Got me feeling good. So what up with you, Ivan? Where you coming in from, my brother? It seem like it's just us. Seem like it's just us. He said, awkward, honestly. So what up? Where you coming in from, Ivan? Where you watching me from, man? Where you from, Ivan? Ivan Van Sertima? Somebody said, you must be Hulk. He said, you must be Hulk. No, I ain't Hulk. I ain't Hulk. I ain't Hulk. I'm the outlier. Big Mont said, you must, he said, how you get pulled over at the police station. Exactly. That's crazy, right? He must have been doing something stupid, but it's a stop sign right there on the low, son. It's a stop sign right there, but it don't feel like a stop sign. So I see a lot of people go right through it. Sometimes I want to do it, you know what I mean? And I know. So I tell I gotta mentally stop because there's a stop sign. It's a four-way stop sign over here. But sometimes you want to run through it. So maybe that's what happened, man. I don't know. I don't know. But that is kind of awkward. You getting stopped in front of the police station. We got somebody on the check-in. Ivan, he's still with me. He said, where is that? This is Freeport, my brother. Freeport, Long Island. Freeport, Long Island. That is a suburb of New York City. But where you checking in from, partner? Where you coming in from? The USSR? Ivan? Where you coming from? The Ukraine? Where you coming in from? Ivan? You know what I mean? You was in Drago's corner? You was in Drago corner when he killed Apollo, son. I've got beef with y'all. I still got beef with y'all over that, man. I still got beef with the former with the former Soviet Union. I got beef with the former Soviet Union, son. Y'all ain't have to do that to Apollo. If he dies, he dies. Ivan's from Indonesia. Damn, I'm over here bugging. All right, Ivan from Indonesia. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to the people in Indonesia. We got people that go out there, man. Them passport bros starting to go to Indonesia, man. And the Philippines and places like that, they getting the same thing that they used to get in the Dominican Republic. They getting out there now. The same thing they used to get in the Dominican Republic, they going now to those type of places. Indonesia. They going to India. They going to the Philippines, places like that, and they getting the same exact thing, man. The same exact thing. That ain't my life, man. I'm 46 years old now. I'm only looking for one. You feel me? I ain't gonna be out there in them streets messing with them Jezebels. I ain't gonna be out there messing with them two-bit whores. That ain't my lifestyle no more, man. Maybe when I was 20. I'm 46 now, man. We chilling. We talking about life and growth from now on, y'all. I want a wife. I want me some children, a house. I'm leaving the streets alone, y'all. I'm done with the streets. Them days is over, son. Them nights ain't cool. At 26, 23, 24, it may be cool. Because that's who gonna be in the club with you when you're 23, 24, 25. You're gonna get you them nice young women because you young too. But as you start getting older, my brother, as you start getting older, it start kind of getting creepy, man. You're 46 years old, you're single, you're out there in the club, it's 4 a.m., you got work in the morning, you ain't got no kids, you ain't got no life, you ain't doing nothing. You might as well join Everest College, son. You might as well join Everest. But nah, as you get older, man, for real though, all jokes aside, as you get older, man, that child life start getting crazy. You know what I mean? So, try to get you something to build into when you early. So by the time you're 6, you definitely have something that you could be proud of. You know what I mean? But I'm over here chilling. Somebody said there's a police car there for what? Somebody said, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Oh, my boy Daniel back on the check-in. What up, Daniel? What up, Daniel? What you since the basketball season over, what you got planned for your page? What you got planned for your page? Ivan said, yeah, somebody I got pulled over right in front of the police station. So the police, I don't like to film the police station, but the police station somewhere in that vicinity, and the dude was over there, and he got pulled over right in front of the police station, you know. But I'm about to get up out of here, my people. Thank you guys for checking in. I got 5 minutes. Peace out. I love y'all. Yeah.